The lights don't flicker, they just disappear. 1 second, everything is normal. The next, your entire world goes silent. No power, no signal, no warning. And in that moment, most people make their first mistake. They wait. They assume it's temporary, a short outage, a minor disruption, something that will fix itself before it becomes real. But what they don't understand is this: a true grid failure doesn't begin with chaos. It begins with silence, because systems don't fail all at once. They fail in layers. And while people are standing still, trying to understand what's happening, the clock is already moving. Water systems begin to lose pressure. Communication towers switch to limited backup power, and supply chains don't slow down, they stop. And the difference between those who understand this and those who don't is measured in hours, not days. Because by the time most people realize what's happening, the window to act is already closing. Because after the first wave of confusion comes realization, and realization is dangerous. It changes behavior faster than fear. People begin to understand that this is not a temporary outage. This is something deeper. And when that thought settles in, something structural, the first real shift begins. Not in systems, but in people. Because information spreads faster than infrastructure can respond. People start talking, comparing, guessing. But in a blackout scenario, information is always incomplete. And incomplete information creates something worse than fear. It creates assumptions. And assumptions lead to movement. Not organized, not planned, but reactive. People begin to leave their homes, not because they know what to do, but because they don't know what to expect. And in systems like this, movement changes everything. Because once people start moving en masse, supply points become pressure points, and pressure points become failure zones. Because while most people focus on what is happening, very few understand why it is happening, and even fewer understand what happens next. The first 24 hours are confusion. The next 24 hours are reaction. But the third phase is where survival logic replaces normal behavior. Because once movement increases, control decreases. And when control decreases in a city, small problems stop being small. They connect. And modern cities are not designed for improvisation. They are designed for flow. But when flow stops, the system fractures, and fracture spreads silently. Not like an explosion, but like pressure behind glass. Invisible at first, then suddenly undeniable. And this is where the real divide begins. Not between rich and poor, not between prepared and unprepared, but between those who understood early and those who waited too long. Because in every system failure, there is a point where recovery is still possible, and a point where recovery becomes irrelevant. The difference is time. Because after the first wave of confusion, reality sets in. People stop asking what happened and start asking, what now? And this shift is what separates reaction from survival. Because reaction is emotional, but survival is structural. It requires thinking ahead, not reacting late. But most people never reach that stage, because by the time adaptation begins, resources are already limited. And scarcity changes human behavior faster than fear ever could. Because fear is emotional, but scarcity is physical. You can ignore fear, but you cannot ignore hunger. At this stage, cities don't collapse instantly. They reorganize themselves into smaller survival zones, some controlled, some not. And in every system like this, there is one constant truth. Those who prepared early move differently, because preparation is not about fear. It is about time. Time to think, time to act, time to avoid panic decisions. And in a grid-down world, time is the only resource that cannot be restored. Once it is lost, it cannot be recovered. So the real question was never what caused the blackout. The real question is, what do you do when systems stop responding? Because in every collapse scenario, there are always two types of people: those who wait and those who understand. And the difference between them is not intelligence, not strength, but awareness and timing. When systems fail, awareness becomes survival.